His partner hit a cop and was shot dead instantly like a TV drama. The rest of the old guy was quickly subdued by the police. As he was taken away, he wanted to say goodbye to the mother and daughter, only to find his wife immediately cutting ties. Little did he know that necklace he bought for his daughter was his wife flat out said she wouldn't wait for him to get out of prison. This farewell was forever, and she begged the police to hurry up and lock him away. Old Si lost everything and blamed it all on good-hearted Moha. In reality, Moha was just as confused as ever. A few days later, he and his family visited old Si's wife. Moha intended to return the necklace, yet the mother refused, calling it filthy and preferring death over accepting it. Seeing the awkwardness, Moha's wife suggested he go to the toy store across the street to buy their kid a plush toy. Moha went over and picked several toys. Since they had a daughter too, he kept asking his wife's opinion until she finally nodded. Just as Moha was pulling out his wallet to pay, a truck suddenly went out of control and crashed into the building across the street, leaving him frozen in shock. He didn't even need to think. The chances of survival for the two mothers and daughters across the street were nearly zero. 3 years passed, and Mo's daughter Jyoti had grown into a young lady. During that fateful accident, a metal garbage can happen to fall at just the right moment. Jyoti was fortuitously trapped inside, making her the only survivor among the four. Talk about luck. From that date on, Ma started treating that garbage can like a shrine, even naming it Lakshmi. The two of them took special care of Lakshmi every week without fail. That's why Jyoti always bragged to her classmates that they had 3 family members. One was her daughter, and the other was none other than that garbage can. Over the years, Ma had transformed from a barber into a small business owner. He didn't have much ambition other than to provide for his daughter. But fate had planted the seeds of revenge 13 years ago, and today, his daughter Jyoti was coming home from school. Subtitle: Upon entering the house and finding her father absent, Jyoti proceeded to change clothes in her bedroom as she normally would. Unbeknownst to her, a devil was concealed in the corner, and she gradually found herself losing the ability to resist. The one assaulting Jyoti was none other than old Si, recently released from prison. He believed that it was Moha's testimony that cost him his family. For the past 13 years, he dreamed of revenge every single day. He initially called his 2 brothers over to help him. Unknown to him, his daughter returned first. Old Si didn't go overboard, as his revenge was aimed at Moha, not his unlucky daughter. While old Si waited for Moha, the bald man couldn't resist the innocence was too alluring. He charged into the room like a dumb pig, while Moha was over at the store promising his daughter a brand new pair of shoes, only to find they didn't have the style she wanted. The boss went to the warehouse to restock, which took forever, and before you knew it, the bald guy finished his BC business. And the bespectacled little guy set his glasses down and followed suit, pretending to be bald. After some time, both had finished and were still waiting for Moha to come back. The little guy suggested they should kill the girl first, but the bald guy cheekily asked if he could drop by one last time before they did. This was some desperate life-threatening nonsense, but even so, old Si momentarily shelved his killing intention. As a father, old Si knew too well that ruining a girl like that was even worse than murder. Moments right after they departed, Moha came back home holding new shoes. As he pulled out the shoes, all he could hear was his daughter's faint cries for help. Soon, Jyoti was taken to hospital for emergency care. Fortunately, she survived. Moha, home and racked with guilt, rampaged wildly. He even knocked himself out in the chaos, and as a little snake slithered across him, a falling glass bottle suddenly jolted him awake. In front of him lay a highway toll receipt with the license plate number. With that clue, Moha hurried to the hospital to check on his daughter. Deep down, he vowed to take down every last one of those beasts. Jyoti understood her father's nature, so she had one request: leave one alive to ask some questions face to face. She wanted to know why they treated her this way. What exactly did she do wrong? With a heart heavy as lead, Moha silently agreed to her wish. For those deserving it, he showed no mercy. Next day, Moha went to the police station. Based on his daughter's memories of that day, he reported the incident. However, the story changed as he painted himself as the victim of a home invasion. There were 3 culprits in total, one of whom had a unique back tattoo, and they all sounded local. The sheriff initially listened seriously, but then asked what had been stolen from the house. Moha replied that all they lost was a garbage can, which held special significance for their family. Without a second thought, the sheriff kicked Moha out, joking that reporting a missing garbage can was ridiculous. Subtitles: watching Moore slink away from the police station in disgrace. The sheriff thought he had driven off this lunatic. Unbeknownst to all, Moore returned with a jar of money, offering a $40,000 deposit and additional $500,000 upon locating the trash can with police help. For the sheriff, this was already a considerable sum. That afternoon, the sheriff led a team to Moore's home to investigate, and sure enough, just as Moore said, nothing was missing. While searching for clues, the sheriff even snapped a photo of the garbage can, and his deputy found Moore's bank book showing a balance of $1.05 million. The sheriff and his team concluded that if Moore wasn't a fool, that all trash can must hold a secret. If this thing could be found, they'd surely hit the jackpot. Not long ago, the sheriff had solved a gold heist, and the thief was quickly apprehended. But because the owner was a corrupt official, the sheriff returned a bunch of fake gold, keeping the real stuff for himself. Subscribe to our channel for more thrilling content.